Volkswagen has launched pre-sales for the updated 2024 ID.4 and ID.5 electric crossovers in Europe, with prices starting from €40,335, $42,810. In Germany, for the base pure trim, the main updates are a brand new generation of infotainment system and software, which is something owners of ID vehicles have been waiting for a long time, as well as a new electric motor on the rear axle and more powerful GTX dual-motor models.
Starting with the new infotainment and software, Volkswagen says the latest generation software is much faster and offers more functions, enhancing intuitive operation. In addition, both the ID.4 and ID.5 get a new standard infotainment system with a larger screen that's now 12.9 inches in diagonal. According to the automaker, the infotainment system has a completely new menu structure, while the standard digital cockpit and optional augmented reality head-up display have been enhanced. As with the facelift ID.3, the touch sliders for the air conditioning and volume control are now illuminated. Furthermore, the 2024 ID.4 and ID.5 get a new multifunction steering wheel with new operating logic. Another big change made to the interior is the new location of the driving mode selector from the housing of the digital cockpit to the steering column switch, just like in the ID.7 sedan. This was done to create space for the larger infotainment display. Finally, a new IDA voice assistant is said to respond more precisely than in the past to natural voice commands and offers new functions including cloud-based weather information, live scores for sporting events or stock market prices. It's worth noting that all these updates are also coming to the 2024 Volkswagen ID.4 that goes on sale early next year in the US. On the powertrain front, the rear-wheel drive ID.4 Pro and ID.5 Pro equipped with the 77 kWh battery gain a new electric motor on the rear axle. First introduced on the ID.7 sedan, the motor makes 282 horsepower, 210 kilowatts, and 402 pound-feet, 545 Nm, of torque, which represent increases of 81 horsepower and 173 pound-feet. The new rear electric motor is also fitted to the all-wheel drive ID.4 Pro 4Motion, which has a system power of 282 horsepower, an increase of 21 horsepower. In addition, the ID.4 GTX and ID.5 GTX all-wheel drive range toppers gain 40 horsepower for a total of 335 horsepower, 250 kilowatts. As a result, the 0 to 62 miles per hour sprint drops to 5.4 seconds, while the top speed remains limited to 112 miles per hour. All ID.4 and ID.5 models fitted with the 77 kWh battery pack also offer longer WLTP range, up to 342 miles, 550 kilometers, in the ID.4 Pro RWD, 10 miles, and up to 345 miles, 556 kilometers, in the ID.5 Pro RWD, 7 miles. As for charging, the Volkswagen ID.4 and ID.5 with RWD charge at up to 135 kilowatts, while the AWD models now charge at up to 175 kilowatts. With the maximum charging capacity, ID.4 and ID.5 AWD models can add 110 miles of range in about 10 minutes of DC fast charging. Speaking of charging, all ID.4 and ID.5 models get new charging and thermal management that makes sure the battery is preconditioned while driving to the next DC fast charging stop. The US spec 2024 VW ID.4 gains the new rear motor and more powerful dual-motor powertrain as well, except in the US the latter is not badged GTX but simply ID.4 AWD Pro.